Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 25th Annual OCTLA Top Gun Awards and Charity Gala. Yay! 25 years. I see you guys got your paddles up already. That's good. On behalf of OCTLA, I want to thank all of our sponsors for attending this evening. I'm going to wait for our tech guy to get the names up on the screen. There we go. Okay, perfect. Our diamond sponsors, Robinson Calcagni, Chernoff Berdart Echeverria. Our premier sponsors, Chart Squad and Pat Farber Atlas Settlements. Our silver sponsors, Bisnard Chase, Kubota and Craig. Law offices of Ted B. Wacker. Law offices of Stephen Hilliard. Our wine sponsor this evening, Aiken and Cone. Our cocktail sponsor, Bentley Moore. And our new martini bar sponsor, Bruno Nalu. Yay, Angela. Our appetizer sponsor is Hodes Millman and Ikuda. Our silent auction sponsor is the Simon Law Group. Our gift sponsor is Aiken Campbell Highhouse Weaver. Our after party sponsor in the Overview Lounge is Rizio Lipinski. Our valet sponsor is the Vanderpool Law Firm. Thank you, Doug. Our video sponsor is Verdict Videos. Our photography sponsor is Executive Presentations. And our bronze sponsors this evening are Klein & Wilson, Judicate West, Roberts Gendron Law, Cass Settlement Consulting, the law offices of Janice Vinci, the law offices of William D. Shapiro, Arcadia Settlements Group, Kuzar Court Reporters, Expert MRI, and JAMS. Our supporters this evening are Hicks Law, the law offices of Geraldine Lee, and Kristen Nierhoff, Sage Settlements. I mentioned our gift sponsors a little earlier, and those gifts are the cool water bottles that you have at your tables with the AWOW logo, our charity this evening. They're yours to take home, so I hope you enjoy them. We also want to welcome the judges in attendance tonight. The Honorable Shana Culliver, the Honorable Jim DeCesar, the Honorable Brian Foster, the Honorable John Gastelum, and the Honorable Lon Hurwitz. We also want to welcome our retired judges that are with us this evening, the Honorable Franz Miller, the Honorable Robert Polis, the Honorable Steve Sundvall, and the Honorable David Thompson. Okay, we also want to welcome our past gun winners in attendance. And could you please stand up when I call out your name? Wiley Aiken, Greg Bentley, Keith Bruno, Sean Burke, William Crosby, the Honorable James DeCesar, Richard Donahue, Jonathan Dwork, Tom Fair, Sevi Fisher, Dan Hodes, Jennifer Johnson, Gerald Klein, Kevin Liebeck, Gavin Long, Jeff Millman, Keith Moore, Chris Purcell, Byron Rabin, Jeff Reel, Greg Rizzio, Dan Robinson, Mark Robinson, Bill Shapiro, Robert Simon, Eric Trout, Doug Vanderpool, Atticus Wegman, and Mark Wilson. Let's give all of our past Top Gun winners a round of applause. Now, I know I asked you guys to stand up, but you guys stood up for a second and sat back down. So I'm going to ask that our last year Top Gun Award winners stand back up. And that's Gavin Long, Jennifer Johnson, Chris Purcell, and Jeff Reel. So due to COVID-19 last year, their awards program was limited just to family and friends, and it was live streamed. And so please join me in applauding last year's awesome trial lawyers and Top Gun Award winners for the work that they did on behalf of their clients. Our last year Top Gun Award winners. All right, we also want to acknowledge some very important guests with us this evening. We have with us Senator Tom Umberg, representing the 34th District. We have with us Larissa Dinsmore, OCBA President, Casey Johnson, the OCLBA President. And then finally, I noticed today that we also have two from Orange County, National Abota past presidents with us this evening, which is Mike McGuire and of course our inductee, Mark Robinson. All right, this work cannot be done without Janet and our Top Gun committee. So I want to thank our Top Gun committee who has worked very hard behind the scenes to put together tonight's program. And that is our oversight, Lindsay Campbell, our chair, Janice Vinci, our co-chair, Angela Bruno. And I also want to thank our committee members, Chris Andal, Darren Campbell, Michael Gendron, and Allegra Rainier. In addition to our committee, this event is put on by the work of volunteers who not only for the ladies and gentlemen that volunteer this evening, but the committee and the board members who volunteer in the afternoon to put the silent auction and everything together. And I want to thank Jason Argos, Jim Pantone, Eileen Solis, Garrett Dirks, Jeff Frill, Garrett Chambers, Jennifer Turner, Brooke Bove and her daughter, Claire Lusich, and of course our own Casey Johnson for being here this afternoon and putting everything together. And I don't know where Janet is, but I have to say I want to give a special thanks to Janet Thornton. It's Janet's untiring commitment to this organization that brings about its success. So on behalf of the OCTLA Board of Directors, we want to thank Janet for all the hard work and her steadfast commitment to the organization. It just isn't done without the work of Janet Thornton. There she is back there, waving from the corner. Let's give Janet a big round of applause. You're amazing, Janet. Thank you. And then finally, before, she never wants to come up. So finally, before we get started with our live auction and awards, I want to recognize some few people who won our contest for donating items of $2,000 or greater. The first 5 that donated those. And so that's Mike Bedard, Ricardo Echeverria, Michelle West, Mark Robinson, Dan Hodes, and Doug Vanderpool. We want to thank all of you for those donations. And please enjoy your bottle of Vert Clicquot champagne that you have at your table tonight. Thank you very much. All right, and now, as Eminem said, let's get down to business. Okay. Over the years, in conjunction with the Top Gun Awards event, OCTLA has raised money for a charity. All right, we're going to talk about the charity right now, so this is important. OCTLA's charitable mission began in the 1980s and continues, and we continue to give back to children and families in need. 100% of the proceeds go to the charity. OCTLA is proud to continue its tradition of giving, of charitable giving by having a Walk on Water, or AWOW, as our charity recipient this evening. AWOW provides surf therapy to children with unique needs. It works closely with the community, businesses, volunteers, and watermen to help those most in need experience the calming therapeutic effects of the electrifying and living ocean. In 2020, AWOW was chosen as our charity recipient. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we were not able to have a charitable auction that year. So I have to say that one of my greatest honors as the president of OCTLA was to notify AWOW's executive director that we would be having them again this year as our charity. So on behalf of OCTLA, we're very excited to have AWOW as our 2021 charity, and I invite you to watch this video of the amazing work that AWOW does.
Morning, babe.
Hi.
Are you excited for today?
Yeah.
Okay, dude, let's get that on. Let's get ready to go.
Thank you.
All right, Lex. Time for your drops.
Just relax your eyes, sweetheart.
I told him what a good superhero you were and how you fight hard every day. Okay, let me see. I just need to make sure it's not gonna get sad.
And guess what? If you get scared, I'm gonna be with you the whole time.
Thank you, Daddy.
All right, you got everything?
Yeah.
What'd you pack?
I packed my ball, my phone, and
Check.
headset.
It's gonna be fun. We're gonna get to see all your friends too.
right. So we have a celebrity with us this evening. He is one of the stars of the Emmy Award-winning docuseries Born This Way. He has 3,500 followers on his Facebook page, and don't be jealous, but he has an Instagram page with 15,000 followers. I want to invite him and his mom up to the stage to talk about his experience with a walk on water, Mr. Rocco Keller and his mom, Amy Amaradio.
Can you say hi to everybody? Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Amy, and this is my son, Rocco. And we're so thankful to be here tonight to share about such an incredible organization that impacts so many kids, young adults, and adults across the United States. And Rocco is one of those kids, which a walk on water would call an athlete. And so when Rocco was very little, you know, one of our favorite things, and still is one of our favorite things to do, is go to the beach. And his favorite thing to do besides throwing sand was really to watch all the surfers surf. I get emotional. And he would say, "Me, I want to." And my heart ached a little bit because I didn't know if that would ever be possible. But I always taught him that, yes, you can do anything you set your mind to. There's no limitations. So I said, "Yes, buddy, one day you will be out there and surf." And that's when I heard about this incredible organization called A Walk on Water, or surf therapy for people like Rocco. And the first event that we got into, which is so exciting because it is hard to get into these events because there is such a need, because it impacts so many young people and adults. So I was so beyond excited, and that's when we went to our first event when Rocco was 4. And from the moment that we got there, they treated Rocco and my entire family pretty much like rock stars. From all of their team members, board members from the organization that are there, to the volunteers, to the surf instructors, they make sure that they know every single thing about the athletes. And when you step foot on the sand, they treat you like family. And really, that's where our journey started, because we became family. And when Rocco first got out there, it was just so sweet. They have wetsuits. They offer everything that the athlete needs. And he got out there and he rode his first wave. And the joy, I can't even describe it. Because I knew at that moment that one of Rocco's dreams came true. Right, Rocco? Do you love to surf?
Yes.
Yes. And you got to see like a sneak peek of the video, but it's really like a whole family. It's like a celebration that day. They offer so much. They offer like a breakfast, brunch, lunch. There's activities, and it's like they have the families kind of sit back and enjoy. And they also don't even forget about the siblings, because that's really important, is that the siblings aren't forgotten. And that's what a Walk on Water does. They let the family enjoy this moment of watching their kids' dreams come true. And then afterwards, after they're done surfing, they have this amazing award ceremony. And you got to see one of the kids hold up, they give everybody this like surf wooden trophy, and they cheer when they call the athletes, they cheer their name. And Rocco, what do you do when you hold up your trophy? What do? You hold it all the way up, right? Yeah. Do you love?
Yeah.
Yes. But it's just, it's so amazing, and the joy that it brings him, all the kids and young adults, it's priceless. So if you're going to give, this is an organization to give to, because it's changed Rocco's life. He has a family now, an extended family, and he gets to see his friends, and he has something that he gets to look forward to, which is amazing. And so we're so thankful for a Walk on Water, and I hope that you guys can open your hearts tonight and give, because this organization is the organization to give to. It's incredible what it does for all the athletes. Rocco, do you want to say anything really quick before I go? Do you want to say I love
Yeah.
a walk on water?
Water.
Yes.
Yes.
Say thanks.
Yes.
Want to blow kiss? Okay, he just gave all of you guys a kiss. If you have any other questions too, feel free to come reach up or come talk to us, and we'll be happy to share more. But thank you so much for your time. We so appreciate it. Yay. Okay, Rocco, say bye. Say shaka, shaka, buddy.
All right, thank you so much, Amy and Rocco. We really appreciate you being here tonight and speaking of the incredible work that AWOW does for the children and families with unique needs. I want to take a moment. I want to thank the board members and the volunteers from AWOW that are here tonight. Back here in the back, straight ahead, Jeff Swampy Marsh, Bear Marsh, Kim Murphy, John Murphy, Jack Tucciarici, Michelle Tucciarici, Cheryl Windsor, and also Craig Silver. We have you guys give these ladies and gentlemen a big round of applause for the work that they do for these children. All right. I think it's time to have a little bit of fun. So next I want to bring up to the stage Keith Moore. Keith has graciously volunteered his time as our not-so-amateur auctioneer at our Top Gun events for many, many years. He goes above and beyond, behind the scenes to obtain exceptional items for donation for our charity, and this year is no exception.
Nothing.
Thank you, Keith.
I'll take that money.
All right, Keith is a partner at Bentley Moore, and he's a past president of OCTLA and he's our only 4-time Top Gun Award winner. And I'm honored to call him a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Moore.
Thank you,
You're welcome, dear.
Hi, Rocco. Now that's a tough act to follow, and let me say, it's time. Last year, we had this event, and all of those Top Gun Award winners and this charity missed out on being in person. I mean, last year, during this event, many of you don't even realize, but I was at home trying to raise money in my kitchen. And I kept looking at Tracy, my girlfriend, saying, can you please bid on something? And there was really nothing to bid on, but I'm just saying, can we give some money? So tonight, it's time to give money. And it's time to help this incredible charity and help Rocco and the other kids and a Walk on Water. So let's hear it for Rocco and a Walk on Water before we start. You know, it's been a year, and some things just haven't changed, okay? I mean, Bob Simon still has that beard. I didn't think that was that funny, but Alan Brown still has that 10 pounds to lose. I cleared that one with him, okay? He looks great. All right, let's get to the auction items, Patrick, because we've got some great items tonight, and then we are just going to raise a lot of money for this charity, okay? The first item that we have up, this is a 3-night stay at the Bobby Darin, Sandra D. home, okay, at the Racket Club Estates. It's an incredible piece of property, 3 bedrooms, 3 nights. They say that the value of this is about $2,000, but I think it's probably worth about $3,000 because when you look inside, when you look inside, it's like the iconic Hollywood. And there's just posters and all of this memorabilia. It's an incredible piece of property. So I'm going to start the bidding on this at $1,500. Do I have $1,500 for a 3-night stay at this beautiful house? We got Mr. right over there, number 201. Thank you, sir. How about $1,800? $395 over here. Do we have $2,000? Michael Penn, 228. Do we have $2,200? Cynthia, 259. How about $2,500? Number 2, Cynthia again, 259, $2,500. Do I hear $2,700? $2,700 back there from Verdict Videos, $2,700. Do I hear $3,000? $3,000. We got $2,700 over here. Do I have $3,000? We have $3,000 from Gina Lipinski. Thank you, Gina. $3,000. Do I have $3,200? Ted Wacker at $3,200. Do I have $3,500? We're just going to jump this right up to $3,500. Oh, Ben, did I see you raise that paddle over there? We got $3,200 for Ted Wacker. $3,500. $3,500? Or are we at 32? $3,200, Ted Wacker. $3,200 going once. Do I hear 35? We got $3,500 for Gina. $3,500. $3,600 for Miss Aiken, Mrs. Aiken. $3,600. Do I hear $3,700? $3,700. We got $3,600. $3,700 for Miss Lipinski over here. $3,700. Do I hear $4,000? We got $3,700 going once. $3,700 going twice. Sold to the Lipinskis. Incredible labor and employment lawyer right there, Darren Lipinski. This is the next item, Patrick. We are so fortunate to have an incredible Top Gun Award winner, Ricardo Echeverria, here tonight. Thank you, Ricardo. And he donated this tonight, which is an incredible piece of history. Hotel California Platinum album cover. I mean, it is the album and the cover signed by all of the Eagles. Incredible piece of memorabilia. The going on this is $3,500. We're going to auction it tonight and start at $2,000. $2,000. Do I have $2,000? We have $2,000 back here. Number 262. Do I hear 2,200? We got number 190, 2,200. Do I hear 2,500? You raised that before I even said. I could have said 5,000 back there. All right, $2,500. Do I hear 27? Is that Gary Donovan? I can't tell who that is. Is that Gary Donovan? My God, you look good back there. Number 381. $3,000. Do I have $3,000? We got Gary, $3,000, number 190. Do I hear $3,200? $3,200 right here, Stephen. $3,200. Do I hear $3,500? $3,500 for Gary Donovan. Do I hear $3,700? $3,500, Gary Donovan going once. $3,500. We got 37? Ma'am, you can't raise that unless I see it. $3,500 for Gary Donovan, incredible mediator. $3,500 going twice. Sold to Gary Donovan, $3,500. Thank you, Ricardo. Next item, Patrick. I'll tell you what. This is an incredible item. Dan Callahan and his firm donated this. It is a suite, a 14-person suite with 4 ringside tickets to the OC Fight Club. The going rate on this is $5,000. So we're going to start this right now. Remember, all of this goes to a walk on water. Shh. Here we go. $3,000, 14 tickets, Fight Club, 4 seats, all the food and drink you can have. And believe me, Dan Callahan's Irish, so he'll drink, all right? You got anything you want there. Look at those pictures. Incredible. Do I hear $3,000 for the Fight Club night? Sevy, anything? $3,000. Do I hear $3,000? We got $3,000, number 283, Ben. Fabulous med mal attorney. $3,500 to Cameron and Whitney. Oh my gosh, $3,500. These girls love to see fights. Do we have 38, and especially in depositions, okay? $3,500 to Cameron and Whitney. Do I hear $3,800? $3,800. Anybody else? $3,800. It's for 14 people. $3,500 going once. $3,500 going twice. So, oh, I'm sorry, whoa. Dan Hodes, $3,800 right there. Thank you, Dan. Dan Hodes, number 281. Do I hear $4,000? That's like one depot for you guys. $3,800. Do I hear $4,000? That's like, okay, fine, maybe 2 depots, all right? And that's not even videotaped. All right, $3,800 to Dan Hodes. Do I hear $4,000? This is a $5,000 item. $3,800 going once. You know, Dan, you can invite them. $4,000, 215, number 215, $4,000. Dan, I'm going to do something for you really quick. I'm going to go to $4,100, see if you can do a little battle with these two, okay? $4,100, Dan, yes or no? $4,100, $4,200 right here, yes or no? That's a no? All right, fine, that's a no. $4,100, Dan Hodes, going once, going twice. Sold to Dan Hodes, Hodes Millman, incredible med mal lawyer. And by the way, Dan Hodes, 3-time trial lawyer of the year. All right, Patrick, next item, please. Michelle West was kind enough to donate, that's right, 2 courtside seats for a Clippers game. She's going to give you your choice of 3 games. And if you're nice to her, she'll give you your choice of the best game of the year. Right, Michelle? See, you put a little pressure on her, she gives in right there. All right. Courtside tickets $3,500 value, easy value, $3,500. We're just going to cut to the chase here. Do I have $3,000 for this item? $3,000. We got $3,000, Jenny. Thank you, Jennifer. $3,000, Jennifer Johnson. I think she won Top Gun winner last year. Do I hear $3,200? We got $3,200. Is that a yes over here? Raise that high or no? There we go, number 371, $3,200. Do I hear $3,500? This seems to be the magic number, $3,500. $3,500. We got 32. Do I hear 35? Jennifer Johnson, 3,500. Thanks, Jennifer. Number 375, 3,500. Do I hear $3,800 for this item? 3,800. Yoshi Kubota, number 132, $3,800. Do I hear 4,000 back there, Jennifer? You are not going to believe the crowd. Incredible. 3,800 to Yoshi going once. 3,800 go. Oh, we got $4,000 right here. Woo, Lisa, thank you. $4,000. Do I have 45? No, let's show 4,200. 4,000 going once. 4,200 to Jennifer Johnson, number 375. We got a bidding war here. 4,200. Do we have 4,500? You're sitting on the floor. You'd ever know. Denzel Washington could be pulling up right there. Cedric the entertainer. I might have to say a word for him. 4,200 going once. 4,500 right here. 4,500. Do I hear $4,700? All this money's going to Walk on Water. 4,500 going once. 47. Jennifer Johnson. She's raising that paddle, everybody. Let's hear it for Jennifer. $4,700. We're going right to $5,000. Michelle, are these great tickets or what? They're amazing, she says. 4,700 going once. 4,700 going twice. Sold to Jennifer Johnson. Thank you, everybody. All right. Next item, Patrick, please. If you've never been to Telluride, let me tell you, shh, this is the way to go. This house is fantastic, right there on Main Street. You cross the street, the bus picks you up, you go right up into the mountain, and you are skiing and snowboarding like Dan Hodes. Hodes Millman, Dan and Marla, so kind to do this every year. This is a fabulous item. He says it's worth about $6,000. I think it's probably worth $10,000. But we're just going to go right to it at $4,000. And you get $500 voucher for airfare or lift tickets. Telluride. Look at this city. It is absolutely breathtaking. Right, Dan? Dan, I'm talking to you. Yes? $4,000. Cynthia Garber, number 259. 4,500. We got AWOC over there, 4,500, number 471. $5,000. Keith? Is that you, Keith? Damn. 45. That's 5,000. We got $5,000. Beautiful. Do we have 5,500? Cynthia, 5,500. Do I hear 6,000? We got $6,000. 6,500. Go. Gregory Bentley, number 241, 6,500. Do I hear 7,000? Keith Bruno, incredible trial lawyer, 7,000. Do I hear 7,500 over here? Anybody? 7,000 going once. 7,000 going twice. Sold to Mr. Bruno. Congratulations. Incredible. All right. This is, shh. Shh. I'm telling you right now, this is the most incredible item, one of the most incredible items we've ever had as a live auction item. Thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Bedard. I mean, seriously, let's hear it for them. You and a loved one or family will have an opportunity, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, to go to Saint-Jean-de-Luz, France. Now, for those of you who don't know, I took 4 years of French, can't speak a lick. Spanish, I'm good. French, terrible, okay? But this is a one-week stay in an old world French charm home on the beach in Saint-Jean-de-Luz. And $1,000 towards airfare. We've got some video taken by Mike Bedard himself. Take a look at this before we start this bidding. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Wait till you see the beach. Shh, here we go. This item, we believe, has a value for 1 week at about $20,000. It is a once-in-a-lifetime item. We're going to stop. And remember, you've got a $1,000 voucher already with this. We're going to start this off at $7,500. It is a 1-week stay. Doug, $7,500. Do I hear $8,000? We got $7,500 over here. Do I hear $8,000? 7,500. We got $8,000 for Keith Bruno, 331. Do I have $8,500? We got 8,000 Keith. Do I hear 8,500? Doug? Oh, no swearing. We got Rocco in the room. That's $8,500. Do we have $9,000? Keith, 9,000? That's nothing. That's like pocket change for you. That's 9,000. 9,500? Easy, yes? That's easy. 201, 9,500. Do I hear 10,000? 10,000. Keith Bruno, this is a once in a lifetime. Keep showing those videos. $10,000 to Keith Bruno. 10,500. And the paddle goes up. 201. $11,000. This is a once in a lifetime item, right, Mike? Once in a lifetime. 10,500. Do we have 11,000? Whoa, where? 296? Oh, there we are. Bill Shapiro. I didn't even see you, Bill. $11,000. Congratulations. 11,500. Anybody at 11,500? We're going to start moving this thing faster. Keith, 11,000 to Bill Shapiro. You going to let him win? All right, fine. $11,000 for Bill and Sue Shapiro. 11,000 going once. 11,500 is the next number. 11,000 twice. Sold to Bill Shapiro. Congratulations. All right. Shh. You might be wondering, what are these boxing gloves doing up here? Patrick, shoot those pictures. So many of you know Jonathan Dwork was the president last year, and Jonathan had asked if we could get a couple fighters to sign some gloves. And fortunately, I've been blessed, and I know Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, and we had the gloves signed by Evander Holyfield. We had 9 of them for Top Gun only, 9 items. And then, because we couldn't auction those off, and when I was in my kitchen, Tracy didn't want to buy one. So this year, Cynthia said, can you get Mike Tyson to sign some gloves, and we'll pair them up together in commemoration of the 25th anniversary of their fight 25 years ago. And Top Gun, this is our 25th anniversary of doing Top Gun, okay? I literally almost had Mike Tyson come tonight. But we got the next best thing. We have these gloves right here, and they'll be encased just like this for Top Gun right here. We're going to do these at $5,000 each. There are 9 sets. That's it. So 9 people will be fortunate enough to have these Top Guns. Greg Rizzio will be number 1. That's 311. Greg Bentley, that'll be number 2. Number 3 is 257. Number 4 is 119. Number 5 is 251. Yes. Number 6 is 472. Number 7 is 302. Number 8 is Sevi, 345. We have one more left. That's it. One more. This is only for Top Gun. One more. Darren Lipinski, 319. We did it. We got all 9 done. That's $45,000 more for a walk on water. Rocco, am I doing good? Come on up here. Remember I told you in the beginning of the night I wanted you to come on stage with me? Come on up here. Here we go. Come on over here, buddy. Shh. We are almost done. I promise I'm almost off the stage here. Come on up, bud. All right, here we go. Good job. I got you. One more. Come on. There we go. Right here. All right. Stay right here. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to ask for any number of firms to step up right now and donate $10,000 to a walk on water. And I believe that the first law firm that's going to do this is going to be Bentley & Moore. Is that right, Greg? There we go. $10,000 right there. Rocco, what do you say about that?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's one firm right there. Do I have a second firm that wants to put up $10,000 going right to a walk on water? Mark Robinson, thank you so much. Robinson, Calcagni. Mike, thank you. Chernoff, Bedard, Echeverria. That's 3 firms right there. Do we have any other firms that want to put up $10,000 so we could reach this goal of over $100,000 tonight? We have 3 gracious firms so far. Anybody else? All right. We're going to go down right now, and we're going to say, how about a donation of $5,000? Do we have any $5,000 donors out there right now? Anybody at all? It's a big crowd here. We got about 400 people. We got $5,000 there from Doug. We got one right there. Oh, you're a 10, 191. Perfect. That's a $10,000. That's number 4. Doug? $5,000. We got another $5,000. I didn't mean to leave you alone here, Rocco. Do I have any other $5,000 donations? We got Sean Burke, $5,000. Greg Rizzio, $5,000. Thank you. Wow. Orange County Trial Lawyers Charity is going to do $10,000 to walk on water. Aaron Hicks, $5,000. Aaron Hicks, $5,000. Do we have any other $5,000 donations right now? All right, we're going to drop this down, and we're just going to ask for 20 people at $1,000. That's it. I just need $1,000 from 20 people. I'm going to shout out some numbers right now. 389, 302, 393, 475, 233, 281, 120, 252, 271, 158, 199, 383, 471, Tracy Cass, thank you. 222, thank you, Wiley. 307, Judge Gastelum, we appreciate that. Any other $1,000 donors? We got a number 405, thank you, Michael. Anybody else? We've got one more, Casey Johnson, 225. All right, I think we've reached, we've got another one over there. See that, Rocco? 261. Awesome. All right. There we go. $1,000 over there, Mr. Bisnar Chase over there, 326. Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Anybody else? That's it for right now on the $1,000. We're going to do, sorry about that, Jim. 365, Jim Pantone, $1,000. Thank you. All right. This is it. We don't want to leave anybody out. Let's go $500. All right, real quick. $500 donations, real quick. Anybody raise your paddle real quick. We're just going to shoot through this and get to the program. We got such amazing trial lawyers to honor. 163, 385, 310, 106. Any other 500s? I think that's it. Cynthia, how do we do?
Yes.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome, you guys. Everybody, God bless you. All right, Rocco.
Okay, thank you so much, Keith Moore, for your assistance this evening. Thank you, everyone, for your generous donations. What an amazing group. Thank you so much. All right. Each year, the Orange County Trial Lawyers Association recognizes and honors trial lawyers who have demonstrated exceptional skills at trial or binding arbitration. These attorneys not only show courage and commitment to their clients, but also demonstrate truly exceptional skills, ability, preparation, and professionalism to obtain outstanding results on behalf of their clients. Shh. Thank you. Our first Top Gun award this evening goes to Ricardo Echeverria. Ricardo is being honored tonight in the category of personal injury for the results in the matter of Dotson versus Akers, LLC. Ricardo is a partner at Chernoff, Bedart, Echeverria, and a very gifted trial lawyer. Bill Chernoff described Ricardo as someone everyone, especially jurors, love because he's articulate, persuasive, charming, but above all, his humanity shines through. Mike Bedart says he's known Ricardo since he was a child and has memories of Ricardo feeding calves in his parents' dairy farm in the rain. Mike said that Ricardo is someone he could go on forever finding positive adjectives to describe, but if he only had one word to describe him, it would be trustworthiness. They love him, they trust him, and they believe his trustworthiness is the key to his success. And jurors trust him too. Now let's watch the video about Ricardo's success in the Dutz matter.
Ian Dotson, at the time of the accident, was 24 years old, and he really had a lifetime of significant issues. He was born severely autistic, but instead of being on one end of the spectrum, being very docile, he was the opposite. He was extremely aggressive, violent, very impulsive. And so when Akers accepted him, it was with full disclosure of all of the problems that Ian had had in other homes and 5150 holds and all of his behavioral problems. They had full disclosure of all of it before they took him on. While he was at Akers, his behavioral conduct continued. And one of the significant things that Ian did was he eloped. He ran away from the home. On the night of this incident, Ian was taken to the Orange County Fair by his direct support professional. He was actually well behaved during the day, and then the problem started about 8 o'clock at night when the DSP and Ian went back to the parking lot and the DSP forgot where he parked. Now you might think that's not a big deal, but when you're walking with somebody like Ian, you're wandering around a parking lot trying to figure out where you parked for a half an hour. He got frustrated and he was starting to get angry and agitated. So he ended up eloping, and for about 3, 4, 5 hours, they didn't know where he was. And it wasn't till 1 or 2 in the morning that they found out that he had been hit in the middle of an intersection about 3, 4 miles away in Orange County. He's lucky he wasn't killed, but he did suffer significant injuries. He had a fractured pelvis that had to be put back together. And then he had, broken leg and other orthopedic injuries. The defense theory was always how difficult of a case Ian Dotson was. And they did the best that they could. But the reality is their DSP was not trained on the behavior plan, by his own admission, did not know the behavioral plan. And those things are a recipe for disaster. And the point was, at least for me, before you accepted him into your house and you knew about all these problems that he had, make sure you're prepared to deal with it. And by the way, they're getting paid $12,500 a month to take care of him. They kept saying, you know, oh, he was just an accident waiting to happen. I said, no, an accident waiting to happen is having a DSP who's not prepared and doesn't know the behavioral plan and goes out with them. That's an accident waiting to happen. Less than 24 hours later, the jury came back with a $6.2 million verdict. So thankfully, the jury saw it the way we wanted them to see it. Our clients were extremely pleased with the outcome, and the hope is that with the money that we were able to recover for Ian, they can now, through private resources, hire a specialized direct support professional, basically to be Ian's buddy at all times. Hopefully now, with the resources from the settlement we did achieve, he's going to be able to get that.
Ricardo, if you could come on up.
Wow. Can I just start by saying how good does it feel to be in person once again? I am honored to be here and humbled, and especially when I look at the list of the other award recipients, it's an honor to be here in front of you, and particularly Mark Robinson, who, when I was in law school, I studied the work of Mark Robinson, and to be sharing the stage with him on something like this is quite an honor for me, so thank you very much. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that I'm probably the luckiest lawyer alive, because, you know, the recipe for success requires good mentorship, particularly in this profession, and I've been the luckiest person on the planet to have Bill Chernoff on the one hand, Mike Bedard on the other hand as my mentors, so I'm tremendously blessed in that regard. I'm also blessed to have great law partners, Kristen Hobbs, Danica Crittenden, Steve Schutze, and all the lawyers, paralegal staff that we have. This doesn't happen by accident, it comes with teamwork, and I've been lucky. And with respect to the Dotson case in particular, I want to acknowledge a couple people who were there with me during the trial. Charles Mayer, who was with us at the time, now he's on his own doing plaintiff cases, did a heck of a job. We tried that case together. And then somebody, you know, I've been trying cases now for, hard to believe, 28 years. And in the last 20 or so, I've been working with Brian Davis, who's not a lawyer, but he's basically my right arm and my left arm in trial, does the IT, does the documents. And I think Brian's been with me in every single trial I've done in the last 20 years. And he's here tonight. Thank you, Brian. And Brian, you know, after 20 years of trying cases together, he knows my idiosyncrasies and my quirks. And many of you don't know, maybe you do know, but I can be really, really superstitious. You know, trial lawyers are a little bit like athletes in that regard. And I'll share with you a story of a case that Brian and I were trying 11 years ago in Barstow. And it was a 4-week jury trial, significant injury. And we're staying at a hotel in the middle of the desert in Barstow, and it wasn't the Ritz-Carlton, it was like a Howard Johnson. And we check into the hotel, and in this particular hotel in Barstow, they had a black and white photo of something from Barstow next to every door in the room, in the hotel. And so I got checked in the first day of trial, the day before the first day. I got 301, corner unit. And I go there, and the black and white photo that I got is of a locomotive. I'm like, yes, that's what we are. We're a locomotive. And you know, kind of like Notre Dame, they clap the sign every time they go to the field. I was clapping the locomotive on my way out to trial and my way in from trial. And I had the same room for 3 weeks. And they saved it for me. And then we show up after 3 weeks of trial the Sunday before closing argument on Monday. And I'm expecting to be checked into the locomotive room. And they said, sorry, we gave 301. Well, you did what? You did what? And I started throwing a conniption fit, and Brian's there making peace with the manager, and hey, it's okay, Ricardo. And they offered me the 2-bedroom suite because 301 wasn't available, the locomotive room. And I said, no, I don't want that. I said, I'll take the next closest, I'll take 401, the room right above it. Figure it's the same floor plan, it'll be okay. And I go up to the room, and I couldn't open the door, and I call Brian, Brian, I can't do it. I can't do it. He says, what's wrong? Do you know what photograph I'm looking at right now? He says, no, what is it? It's a freaking stop sign. So Brian says, it's okay, it's okay. You can take my room, it's a double room suite. What picture do you got? And come to find out, he had a tractor. And I grew up on a dairy farm, and I drove tractors as a kid, and tractors are workhorses, and we're gonna get the thing across the finish line and win the trial. And so I didn't even let Brian take the stop sign room. I made him go downstairs, get another room, because we don't want the stop sign to have anything to do with it, and thankfully that trial worked out. So thank you, Brian, for all you've done. I had a short version and a long version of the speech, and the short version is thank you very much, and the long version is thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
Next, I'd like to call up to the stage our President-elect, Doug Vanderpool, to present the next few awards.
So just a couple things before I talk about my new friend Mo. First, I'd like to congratulate all those fine young men and women who at about 6 o'clock last night found out they passed the California State Bar, right? Including my son Mitch right there, so. So this is Top Gun, and without the Top Gun Selection Committee, we wouldn't be sitting here. So that's kind of my baby, and I want to thank my committee. Our awesome chair, Atticus Wegman, Vice Chair Jason Argos, and Jeff Rill and Eileen Solis. We had some challenges this year, but thank you very much. So I've been on Top Gun Selection Committee since pretty much I made the board, except for 1 year. So I've served in every role. It's really my baby. So I pick up the Daily Journal every week, and I read it religiously. I'm looking for those verdicts, those special trial attorneys out there. And this year I picked it up, and I saw this verdict by this kid I'd never heard of, Mohammed El-Dasuki, and I'm like, that's just incredible. Called him up, and fast forward, I get to hand him that trophy tonight. I'm really proud to do that. So when you meet Mo, by the way, he's getting the Top Gun Award for Employment Law, and he deserves it. It's a fantastic verdict. Lauren Sirica versus UC Regents, and by the way, UC Regents really took it from our members this year. Mo is fiercely passionate about representing his clients. He's a fellow UCI alum. He was a student body president, widely traveled, was a summer intern, I think, Baker and McKenzie in their Cairo office. He's a great guy. So let's go ahead and watch the video.
Ms. Krika was one of the hardest working, most determined people I've ever met. This is a woman who was widowed at the age of 40, raised 3 beautiful, successful daughters. And after doing all of that, she decides, I want to become a registered nurse. I want to go through all the challenges and all the curricular and all the tests with the disability, with the cochlear implant, right? This is a model citizen. This is exactly the type of person that we as a society need to protect. The challenge that Ms. Krika had in the beginning is that she was accused of not using a stethoscope while working, and she was terminated with a whole host of witness statements. I found that odd because she had been there for close to 8 years. She had probably assessed at least 5,000 patients before. Why now? What changed? So we dug deeper and deeper, and we learned that really the motivation were budgetary changes. Prior to this change, it was a 4-to-1 nurse to patient ratio. But now we only need 2 nurses per shift. Well, what does that do? That knocks off a nurse from that shift. And if anyone knows anything about nurses, don't mess with their shifts. Ms. Krika stayed in her unit because they couldn't find another place for her. This created animosity in the unit because they're saying, why is she the only nurse that got to maintain her exact schedule and we're all being tossed up in the air? We don't like that. And what ultimately came about was that they went up to the manager and they said, you know what? I don't think Miss Krika is using her stethoscope. Okay, why don't you and your friends go gather some statements for me and I'll take it from there. And what we did is we went with that same set of statements that Miss Krika first met me with, and we compared that to 10,000 documents that stated what nurse was working, what shift she was on, and what beds they were assigned to. I think the most helpful demonstrative was what I sketched out, the acute rehab unit. And I put the nurse on the stand that made the statement. And I said, are you trying to tell me that from the nurse's charging station, you somehow bent your vision into the hallway and saw my client not use her stethoscope? Is that what you're telling us? Suddenly their responses became a lot less certain than what their statement said. I think the jury saw right through that. They came back with $1.14 million in damages. The award overall was $1.5 million. What I really learned from this case is be able to pivot at any given time. The one thing I can control is the hours in my day. And I told myself, I'm gonna know this case better than they will. So no matter what turn they take, no matter what way they want to spin this, I'll be ready for it. And I think that's what caused us to win the case.
Mo, come up here and get this.
Good evening, OCTLA. How's everyone doing? All right. First, thank you, OCTLA, for giving me this prestigious award. You guys have no idea what it means to me. Thank you to everyone in this room who supported me throughout, including my generous and always available sponsors, KW Reporting. They're not that expensive. Book them. They're worth it. Fast Cash Legal and Pan Alley with Atlas. Thank you guys so much. I got to thank co-counsel Imad Elias. He was with me there in trial. The judge did not like me. Round of applause for Imad. The judge did not like me, and he was there to comfort me and tell me that I'm not crazy and that she really didn't like me. Special thanks to a very special group of lawyers who are my friends and my trial buddies who keep me honest and do not hesitate to tell me I suck when I do. Jim Bolger, Derek Tran, AC Omofoma. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. There was the endless nights where I'd call you guys and run my opening and practice voir dire, and again, you guys didn't hold back, and I really appreciate that. I am here today because I was given all the resources possible to be successful. My parents immigrated from Egypt 40 years ago. The classic story of coming here with only a few $100s in your pocket. My mother, when she would call to continue her residency, to become a doctor, was faced with immediate calls of saying, we don't accept foreigners. My father, who is probably the smartest man I know with the most patents I know after being an aerospace engineer of 20 years, was terminated because of discrimination. I got to witness firsthand what it means for someone to lose their career. Our careers make up who we are. We think about it all the time. We spend time at work. We take it home with us. It seeps into our subconscious. Taking someone's ability to earn away from them changes everything. The most intimate relationships, their sleep patterns, their appetite, all of it. And I remember those days that when the attorney would call, it would be the one beacon of hope that my family would have. Maybe things would go back to normal. Those phone calls were by far the most anticipated and stressful moment for my family. When Ms. Skrika came to me, I knew that it was going to be a huge undertaking, a responsibility that I was going to take personal. She came to me after 3 attorneys rejected her case, telling me that she's going up against the regents, and in a very tough situation, she was accused of fraudulent documentation and gross negligence, a nurse's worst nightmare to hear. And just as the video suggested, we did what we could. We examined all the witnesses, and despite going up against a named partner at a big firm, I was committed to knowing the case better than he did. And thankfully, I think I ultimately did. This means a lot to me. It means a lot to be appreciated by my colleagues and to be given a platform such as today to share with you guys my experiences. And I'm very grateful for everyone who's been with me throughout the entire process. A special thanks to my sisters, Dahlia and Dina, for giving me the honor of being a role model and leading a life that will always be looked at. I want to thank my parents for, again, giving me every resource humanly imaginable. And I also want to thank my wife, Sara, co-counsel who cannot be poached, offered more salary, more points on a case. No one's going to get her. She's mine. And this is absolutely true. Every single opening statement I have ever given, she's come up with the first 3 lines, which are always the most important. Thank you, baby. Thank you for giving me the best present of making me a father to our son, Amin. I love you so much, and thank you, everyone.
All right, so Steve Hilliard is the recipient of this year's Top Gun Trial Attorney of the Year in Medical Malpractice for the case in re estate of Jonathan Anders Peterson versus Regents of San Francisco. So the Regents were very naughty for a little while there. Okay. So as you're going to see from this video, this is just an outstanding verdict against all odds with some of the dirtiest defense tricks you're ever going to see, including threatening Steve's expert, who apparently had a pension with the Regents. Steve joins just a veritable who's who of the malpractice winners in this category. Dan Hodes has won it, Sean Burke, both have won it 3 times, John Adams twice, and the list goes on and on and on. So for the first 35 years of his practice, so Steve was just a little misguided. He was a defense attorney. Yeah, but his colleagues all tell you he always fought fair. It was a good fight against him, and 7, 8 years ago, he came over to the right side. So now he's one of us. So let's watch the video.
Anders Pettersson was a 28-year-old young man who was a very active, very kind, loving person that when his sister was diagnosed with incurable kidney failure that was going to kill her, he was one of the first people to volunteer to give his sister a kidney, and they were a perfect match. The surgeries went fine. The transplant went remarkably well. Everything was perfect. And the doctor gave him some fentanyl to use for the pain control, because having a kidney removed is painful post-operatively. He was continuing to still have pain as he was waking up, becoming more conscious. So they decided to change the opioid from a fentanyl to a dilaudid, and they increased the dose by 380%. This was done by a nurse practitioner, not an MD. An MD never approved this. This was a nurse practitioner, which she was legally able to do, but it was totally inappropriate. His first dose was at 5:30 the night of the surgery, and by 8:30 the next morning, he administered his last dose. 8:32 in the morning, he pressed the button for the last time. His last words to his sister, who he just gave his kidney to that ended up killing him, was, "This was the best day of my life." It just happened to be the last day of his life. The problem was they hadn't monitored him correctly. They didn't have him on a pulse oximeter where his blood oxygen would have been extremely low, and nobody was really paying much attention. Almost everybody that testified said he was, quote, the healthiest patient on the floor. And so they had a lot of sick people that have had transplants, and so they were sick, so they got the attention, and the healthiest person who died didn't get the attention that he deserved. The defense was he had a atypical arrhythmia that just killed him. You know, bad things happen to good people all the time. It just happens that he was in our hospital and loaded up with a lethal dose of dilaudid at the time. The judge awarded the family $2 million in general damages, and we got additional money for the interest, expert fees, which were catastrophic in this case because of all the experts we had. Even though they never offered a dime on the case, I ended up saying, I don't care what this costs. I'm going to fight for this family because they were wronged, and they were wronged, and they continue to be wrong.
Steve, come get this.
Over here by the flag, please. You get your exercise up here, Steve. Over here by the flag.
Doug just said my zipper was up, so that was a good thing. Thank you, every one of you. The Orange County Trial Lawyers Association is a great organization, well represented by the best lawyers, I think, in the state. I appreciate more than you'll ever know this honor, because it is a great honor. It's such a great honor to fight for people, the small people, the people that can't fight for themselves against entities like the University of California that employ over 227,000 employees. One thing that was not mentioned in the video is that 3 days before the deposition of our expert to testify, the Office of the President of the University of California ordered a risk manager to contact our expert to find out whether or not that expert had a bone to pick with the University of California. That expert happened to be a 39-year employee specializing in pharmacology at the University of California, both at San Francisco and at UCSD. He set the policies. He had control over $100 million. He controlled almost every pharmacist within the university. When he saw the case, he said, the university unfortunately killed Anders Peterson with an overdose of Dilaudid. Again, I appreciate this award. I love what I do. As was mentioned, I was on the wrong side of the fence for 35 years. And I learned more in the last 7 years than I have in the last, before that, the last 35 years. Although I continued to get defense verdicts as a plaintiff lawyer in my first 4 cases, I thought maybe I would win an award from the defense bar for continuing that process. But the case, and I have to thank, my family, because I love so much what I do. I will never retire until I start drooling or I can't put together a sentence, which may be sooner than later. But I love doing what I do. And I love my family, that the support of my family gives me every day. My wife, Kathy, of 50 years, we just celebrated our 50th anniversary, who on the weekends when I'm reading depositions and preparing for trial, she's supportive. I love the support of my daughter, Signe, who's here tonight. She has 2 beautiful children. Eva, my grandchild, is here tonight that I love, and she walked around tonight and actually had a glass of wine walking into the room. I didn't allow her to drink it, but she was walking into the room with a glass of wine tonight. I'm sorry, Eva, I'm not that bad of a grandfather. And my son, Brett, who is my idol in a lot of ways. He's one of the best in the world, supportive. And I love doing what I do for not only the profession, but for the people that I love so much. And Melissa Pedersen, the mother, my client of Anders, is here tonight, flying down from San Francisco, and her son, Austin, who's here tonight as well, the brother of Anders, who was, and they are the most special people. When you're a defense lawyer, you kind of get what you're given from the insurance company. As a plaintiff lawyer, you can actually pick your clients. Neil Behan called me one day and said, "Hey, Steve, do you want to take this case in San Francisco?" And I said, I'd love to, Neil. And I said, "What's it about?" He said, "Well, it's about, it's a weird situation where, a donor gives his kidney to his sister, but the sister's fine, but the donor doesn't make it." And I said, "No, I'm really interested in looking at that case." And I really appreciate Neil Behan for giving me that opportunity to represent such great, great people that were with me all along with a organization, and it was like fighting Rome. I mean, there was never a situation that wasn't a fight, including, the directive from the president of the university to tamper with our witness 3 days before his deposition. The judge wasn't real happy with the university when they heard this testimony. They wouldn't make her available for depositions of the one that tampered with the witness. They wouldn't make her available. They hid the ball. They tried to do everything to block us. But we pursued, and we finally were able to get her deposition. And the long and the short of it was that this is a a case where the University of California, San Francisco did a great job in transplanting a kidney from a brother to a sister. But after that, they completely dropped the ball with regard to monitoring the patient and caring for the patient. The case was about that and missing every opportunity to monitor and save his life. However, this real story of the case is about the love story between the family, the Patterson family. The last words that Anders Peterson, the decedent, said to his sister was, "This was the best day of my life." I mean, Anders Peterson was my hero. I mean, for him to have the last day of his life, the best day of his life, I mean, it doesn't matter how long you live, it's how you live those years. Thank you. I appreciate everything.
Okay. Our next award is the Distinguished Achievement Award to Frank Valdez Jr. The Distinguished Achievement Award is given to an attorney who has achieved an outstanding result through settlement, appeal, litigation that has a significant impact for a consumer, the community, or the civil justice system. The obtained result is beyond that of the ordinary that would be anticipated from an excellent trial attorney and carries effect beyond the specific case which the attorney has been nominated. Frank Valdez Jr. has done just that in the case of Hernandez versus Jensen. Frank prepared his case with determination and skill, piecing together the evidence to hold the defendant accountable for Ms. Hernandez's injuries. After 14 days of trial, he obtained an outstanding result for his client. The matter was appealed and resulted in a ruling in favor of Frank's client and for consumers. Let's watch the video and hear about Frank's outstanding achievement for his client.
My client was Annette Hernandez. She was, at that time, a caregiver who was employed by a company called JerryNet. And they provided hospice care to elderly people. In this particular case, she would go in to see Josefina Corona, who was the elderly lady that was bedridden. The husband, Fernando Corona, did have at least 3rd or 4th grade dementia. Tanya Duran was the full-time caretaker. She went to the closet and opened the door and reached in to take out the oxygen tank. When she grabbed the oxygen tank and she pulled it out, it knocked over a .22 caliber rifle. It discharged and it hit my client, Annette, in the back, just above the hip. The effects of the shooting were tragic to her in the sense that they were very painful, caused her a lot to recuperate, left some other problems, internal problems, and it took a lot of work for her to overcome this, not to mention the PTSD. I'm going to have to prove general negligence, and I'm going to have to prove premises liability. Who were the players, and what were the theories of liability? In this instance, there were 4 children. The children were the ones that were really taking care of them in the sense that they controlled everything, but they didn't live there. And in this case, they knew that the father was crazy about guns. He used to keep his guns in the house always and always loaded. He never used a gun safe. So what we did, I thought was pretty ingenious. We followed the money. We went after all of Fernando's bank records, all his checking records and checking accounts. We went after his Edison bill, his gas bill, his water bill. We saw that the ones that paid the bills was always Maria. On occasion, John would pay a bill. Maria signed the documents enrolling Josefina into the GeriNet program. She signed everything, and she said that she's the responsible person. We had to show that she had knowledge. So proving that she knew or should have known about the gun, and that she had a duty to do something because she's the one that brought Tanya, she's the one that brought Annette onto the property. Their defense was that we didn't live there, we had no control over anything, we didn't own the gun. That didn't work because we had showed that she had more than enough control. The jury came back and they found in favor of the plaintiff, and they awarded $3.4 million. Everybody thought I was going to lose. Nobody thought I could win it. So I'm sure that our attorneys were telling him, just like they have in other cases, he can't win. Wrong.
I'm very pleased to be here tonight and obviously to receive this award. It's great. Great to have your peers say something nice about you. Right, Ricardo? Rather than the opposite of what we usually get. But as you can tell by most of the attorneys, or all, I guess all of the guys that came up earlier, we all have such different styles. We have completely different styles, really, don't you think? I mean, I'm a shouter, a kicker, a screamer. I don't like taking crap from anybody or any judge. Sorry, judges. But you have to recognize, in my opinion, and maybe it affects me more than others, the importance of you. You, as lawyers, are really important people. And you have a responsibility not to roll over, not to give up, not to let people step all over your clients, whether they're rich or poor. It's your responsibility to do something and stand up for them, no matter what the odds are. I had a judge one time that was in such a favor of the defense. His name was Burpee. His father was Burpee, the one that wrote the Horn book on contracts. And we were in trial, and I would say, "Objection, Your Honor, irrelevant." And he goes, "Did you object in deposition?" I said, "No." He goes, "Overruled." I said, "Your Honor, I need a sidebar." And we went into his chambers with the defense counsel, as you guys know, and then he looks it up. You don't waive a relevancy objection. It's never waived. So he comes back into the jury, and he goes, "That last objection is sustained. Let's move on." A couple of minutes later, "Objection, Your Honor, relevancy, overruled." I go, "What?" Same guy, same objection. I couldn't believe it. So the next time he did it, I did it. "Objection, Your Honor, relevancy." And me, I said, "Overruled. Thank you, Your Honor." And the jury did exactly what you're doing now, because they caught on. They saw what was happening to my client, And they go, oh, we get it. $850,000 later, my client was a happy camper, and I'm a happy camper. But what if I had sat back and just let this guy railroad me, railroad me, and railroad me? And he's the judge. So we have a responsibility. That's why I say you are the most important thing, the most important person out there that can help your clients, represent your clients. And of course, we all have different styles, but the bottom line, it's the same. Now, in this situation here that you saw this little clip about, this poor lady suffered a terrible injury. They had to take out, and I know we just had dinner, they had to take out her intestine and go inch by this to look for the holes. She had 5 holes in her intestines. It was a terrible situation. And of course, it was a terrible accident. But it was really, really difficult to figure out how am I going to win this case. Luckily, I had an egomaniac on the other side. He literally took the general negligence jury instruction and added a sentence to it that the plaintiff must show control of the property by the defendants. And you know that's not the law. That is the law with regards to premises liability, but not general negligence. And he slipped in the instruction on the last day of trial, and I didn't see it. I found it the next day on a Saturday and did a motion on Monday to have the court correct it, and the court looked at it, looked at him and said, oh my God, and they read the correct instruction. But the reality of it is, I don't think it would have made a difference because they were already convinced the defendants were responsible. So another interesting thing about this, and I'll finish, is that I changed the law, not the law, but the method of doing business in this industry. After this, the GeriNet and several of the other companies who provided home care had a statement that required the family to declare that they had no dangerous weapons or articles in the household, so that if they sent people to help take care of these invalid people, that they wouldn't be hurt. And I thought, wow, that's amazing, right? You get something accomplished like that. So people always underestimate me. I was in a trial where what was that guy's name? Johnston told the defendants, he's giving you a gift, settle the case. And they go, oh no, he'll never win. That was that $858,000 case later that I did manage to win. And before I get off of here though, I need to do something really important. I need to introduce some of the people at my table because they were instrumental in helping me. At my table, most important over there is my wife, Maria. Is she around there somewhere? Oh, she's right here in front. And my daughter, Dr. Victoria Valdez, who's standing over there. And then 2 people that helped me a lot to get this case over was Joe DeClue, my research attorney, who's standing right over there. Because you can't get this done without people like that. You know that, Ricardo. And then the workers' compensation attorney who worked on this case from the beginning was Mojan Bina, who handles all the workers' compensation for our office. The adjusters hate her, so you know she's a good lawyer. Right? Kubota? Yeah. Oh, one thing for the younger guys. Call the older guys. And when I say older guys, I'm referring to guys like Kubota, because they will help you. And in this business, there are so many tricks and so many snakes and so many pitfalls that you gotta call people for help. And I'm there too. I know we'll all do it for them, right, Echeverria? Okay. Thank you, ladies, gentlemen. Thank you.
Rocco is leaving the building, everyone. All right, Grayson, you ready? All right, okay. So Grayson Goody is this year's recipient of the Young Gun Trial Attorney of the Year Award. And he's just the 4th attorney from the Simon firm to win this particular award. Starting with Bob Simon, I can't get my head around that. I mean, Rob Gibson walks in the committee way back, I think it was 2016, and said, have you guys heard of this guy, Simon? He's killing it. Just killing it. Now look at him. So anyway, the Young Gun Award is given to an attorney who fits all 3 of the general Top Gun criteria, plus he's been practicing less than 10 years and displays a consistent desire to try meritorious cases to conclusion, regardless of outcome. And so Young Gun is based on a body of work, basically, and Grayson clearly fits the bill. He has tried in less than 10 years, over 21 trials to verdict, 11 first chair. His largest verdict to date is $16+ million, which he secured with Bob Simon as second chair. His largest first chair came in $7,200,000. He's only been defensed once in his career, and it was later overturned on a motion for a new trial. So let's watch a video.
I grew up in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. It's all about the outdoors, I guess you could say. Running around, hunting, fishing, going on horseback rides, going hiking. My dad is an attorney. He does criminal defense, and so he was the public defender in Jackson for a really long time, and then moved into private practice. I followed him around a lot when I was younger, and I was able to go to court with him. He loved what he did, and the stories that came from representing criminal defendants in Wyoming, I think impacted me, because if you tell the best story at trial, I think you're gonna win. When I graduated from college in Bozeman, Montana, I moved out to San Diego, and my hair was long, I was surfing, I was having a really good time, but I came to a realization that if I continue on with this lifestyle, I'm not going to be able to provide for myself and my eventual family. I finally got a job at a law firm with a family friend. I was doing everything, really everything from serving people to drafting complaints to, talking on the phone with judges. I really got to see a good piece of the law, and I thought, this is something that I can do, and I can do it in a way that I'm happy. And that's how I made that decision to eventually go to law school. When I graduated from law school, I told my dad I wanted to go join a monastery and just be a Zen Buddhist. He was like, what the fuck are you thinking? What are you thinking? I'm like, dude, this is exactly what I want to do. I've been at the Simon Law Group now for 8 years. I think the key to my success is really preparation. I prepare so much for these cases, and I go over everything in my head. What's going to happen if I do this? What's going to happen if I do this? The angst and the anxiety and the questions come from that time when I am preparing. What's going to happen here? It's the fear of the unknown. But the second you walk into the courtroom, that turns off. And I think that's where you start to get present and clarity comes, and that preparation turns into success. Preparation gives me comfort in the courtroom. I don't care if it's a defense witness or a plaintiff witness. If I ask the right questions and I'm good to that person, they'll give me the answer that I want. You know, you talk about in the zone once you get into the courtroom. There's an element of that when I go surfing and the waves are big and it's cold out there, where you're just completely in the moment and it's just a beautiful thing. And then that also transfers over into the courtroom, where preparation has met opportunity and you're in the moment and you're just living. And that's what I want. My wife says that I was born to do this. One of the best decisions I ever made was to go to law school.
I had to do this with Vince. I mean, every time I'm like,
Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, when I spoke with Doug a couple nights ago, he told me a couple things. He said, number one, keep your speech under 2 minutes. Number two, I was in the military and I'll bust your kneecaps if you don't. And number three, don't drink too much before you give your speech. Doug, I think I let you down, at least on one of the.
And the thing about it is, though, that
Do my best on the speech. Look, I'm really honored to be here, and as Doug mentioned, you know, a couple of Simon Law Group fellas have won this award before, and 7 years ago, I was here. This was my first event after I started working at the Simon Law Group, and I saw Bob Simon win this award. And I remember calling my mom afterwards, and I said, "Oh, Mom, this is so cool. He won this award, and he's the young gun of all of Orange County." And there was all these folks here, all these good people, and I think Keith was doing the auction that year, and I thought to myself, there's no way I'll ever have the opportunity to do that. Fast forward a few years, Tom Thayer won the award. And I tried some cases with Tom, and I thought, man, he's good. Man, you know, maybe I'll have a chance to win this award. And then the next year, Sebby Fisher won the award. And I said to myself, they're just handing this thing out to anybody and everybody. And I figured, hey, if I just stay with Simon Law Group long enough, I'm gonna win this award, and here I am. Here I am. So thank you so much. Look, this is super special for me, you guys. My parents are here tonight. My dad is 73, still practicing, still trying murder cases at 73. My mom's here. Thank you, Mom and Dad. You did such a good job raising me. I am so blessed. They did a great job, yeah. A round of applause for them. Yeah, yeah. Really though, Mom, thank you for teaching me compassion and empathy and for loving all things. It means the world to me. It truly does. You made me who I am, and you made me a great trial lawyer. And Dad, thank you for teaching me work ethic, for telling me to not go join a Buddhist monastery when I graduated from law school. You mean the world to me. Thank you for always being there. This whole table over here, I have Brent Douglas, which was my roommate in law school. He came to celebrate with me today. In April, they were both my roommates. and so such good people. You know, Ricardo, you said you're the luckiest guy in the world, the luckiest lawyer in the world. I think I'm the luckiest lawyer in the world because I've been with the Simon Law Group. I've been given every single opportunity to succeed. And I truly feel like the luckiest guy in the world up here today. I love all of you. Thank you, OCTLA. You all inspire me. Everybody who's been up here on this stage has inspired me. Keep doing the things that you do. I love you, and I will remember this forever. Thank you.
Okay, so the rest of my notes are in really small font, so I gotta put my glasses on. Our next award is for the Hall of Fame Award. OCTLA recognizes a very select group of individuals for their lifetime of service and advocacy in the Orange County trial lawyer community. The honorees are chosen for their extraordinary services, achievements, both in and out of the courtroom. Only 6 times in the 58 years of OCTLA has a trial lawyer been inducted into the Hall of Fame. There is no question that Mark P. Robinson Jr. is deserving of the Hall of Fame award. Extraordinary verdict after verdict for his clients, past president of OCTLA, past president of the Consumer Attorneys of California, past president of the Orange County chapter of ABOTA, that's the American Board of Trial Advocates, and past national president of National ABOTA, as I was saying earlier. However, when I talked to people about Mark, when I was talking about, or asking them about what to say about Mark, you know, they expectantly praised Mark for his trial skills, his tenacity in the practice of law, his intelligence, his unwavering dedication to the profession. But Mark, every single one of them spoke of you as a human being and how wonderful you are. Michelle West, for example, said that it's your kindness as a human being that stands out above all, your willingness to clear your calendar to help somebody in need. Your daughter spoke of how you taught her the importance of treating everyone with respect and dignity, from the courtroom attendant, the clerk, and of course to the judge, defense counsel, and how you follow that example and you live by that every day of your life. Everyone spoke of you as just a wonderful human being. Michelle did say that you're quite the athlete, though. She says that you run 3 miles every day, no matter what. And I think that the phrase that she used, if you haven't been on the phone with Mark when he's huffing and puffing at 5 o'clock in the morning, running on the treadmill, you probably don't work at the firm. So let's take a look at the video, Mark, and see what other colleagues of yours have to say about your devotion to the practice and their admiration for you.
There is no question, and it is well beyond a reasonable doubt, clear and convincing that Mark Robinson is a Hall of Famer and well deserving of this honor.
If I had to describe Mark in one word, it would be relentless. He never stops. He's almost like that guy in Terminator 2 that they couldn't stop because he wants to win.
He never gives up. He never goes to sleep. When Mark and I were working on the tobacco case for Los Angeles County, my phone rang at home at 4 a.m. Woke up my wife and young children. My wife looks and says, Tell Mark never to call again. At that hour, she knew that was Mark on the phone.
Whatever Mark does, he does with gusto. Good, bad, or indifference. There is no halfway for Mark. Mark's whole life, he's been driven to be an outlier in whatever he's done.
Mark is one of those exceptional lawyers, not only in the courtroom, but he's one who gives back. He's super generous with his time. And you can reach Mark on his cell phone or at the office. He'll pick up the phone, give you advice, help you with something that you need help with, and at all hours.
The reality is that this is somebody with all of the success. I mean, just the top of success is still trying to think, how can he get better? And to me personally, that makes me aspire to want to continue to do better, because it should never become stale. You should always want to be the best you can be on the cases that you're handling, and that's what Mark does. He personifies that.
Where other people would get worried or get scared, he rises to the challenge and just stays as steady as possible and keeps fighting until he wins.
When Mark is in court, the attention is not on him. It's on the client and it's on his story. And he's just brilliant at that. He takes the limelight away from him and focuses it on the movie.
He was doing a direct exam of Dr. Doug Zipes, the #1 cardiologist in the world. He was in front of the jury. He tripped on a wire. And of course, when he tripped on that wire, he couldn't help himself but do the Heisman pose. As he was doing the Heisman, he looked at all the jurors and was like, "Look at me, Reggie Bush." And that really endeared himself to these New Orleans jurors, which is an all-male jury, and they loved it. So he was able to really connect in that moment.
Jurors like Mark, and the longer he spends in a courtroom, the more they like him and admire him. So I think the reason for his verdicts, yes, he's a good lawyer, yes, he's competitive, yes, he's driven, but he also knows how to relate to everybody, and that's huge.
His fire, drive, and passion to be in court, to fight for the consumer, has not wavered from whenever he was a baby lawyer, and that's always been inspiring to me.
Mark is using what is essentially a genius IQ with an overachiever's mindset. That's a quality you don't normally see, that type of intelligence, but Mark has always been raised to believe with Catholic guilt that he is never good enough, and hence he's never stopping or trying to be better.
In addition to being a great lawyer, he's also a great dad and a great grandfather. So I know growing up, he was my coach on pretty much every team. In that time where you could see how busy his workload was, the stacks of paper in his office, and he would just focus on us. It always made me feel like we were so lucky to have a great dad.
I don't see him slowing down. I've been encouraging him to kind of take it easy and rest on his laurels, but he's never been able to do that because he is focused on the law. He's focused on serving his clients' best interests, and again, he's relentless, and I don't see him ever slowing down.
Congratulations. This is a wonderful, wonderful award for you, and I look forward to working with you for many years to come, and I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Hall of Fame inductee, Mark P. Robinson, Jr.
The flag, yeah. I don't think so. Okay. Here you go. Come on, Mark. I need that big Robinson smile.
say 2 minutes.
In addition to the awards this evening, the awardees received certificates of recognition from Assemblywoman Connie Petrie Norris, who couldn't be here tonight, but they also received certificates of recognition from Senator Umberg, and Senator Umberg is going to come up for just a moment and discuss that.
Mark, don't go too far. Don't go too far, Mark. First of all, Cynthia, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your leadership here in Orange County and around the state. Thank you, Cynthia. Special thank you to your assistant also, Yoshi. Thank you. I'm really honored to be among so many of you who risk your treasure and even more importantly, your time to give voice to those that would not ordinarily have voice, those that would not ordinarily have access to justice, and in particular, Mark. So we in the California State Senate can only provide recognition to a handful of Californians. But you, among Californians, certainly deserve this recognition. Now, there are a lot of legislators who wanted to sign on to this resolution because Mark, besides being a wonderful courtroom advocate, he's also an excellent advocate on behalf of the profession, on behalf of consumers, on behalf of victims, and on behalf of those that we all care about. And so a lot of legislators know who you are, and they wanted to sign on. And I said, if you want to kiss up to Mark, you got to do your own damn resolution. But when we wanted to put this together, I asked Dan, I said, he's done so many things, you know, $4.9 billion verdict, the Pinto verdict, so many things, president of every organization associated with lawyers. I said, Dan, what is he most proud of? What is he most proud of? And I'm not going to read the whole thing, Mark, but I am going to read one thing that your son told me, and it says here that whereas beyond the legal profession, Mark Robinson is a sports enthusiast, enjoys baseball and football, and while the pinnacle of his accomplishments, he says, includes his role as proud father and grandfather and the love and devotion of his wife Melody, his children Leanne, Rob, husband Mark, Daniel, Amanda, and his grandchildren, Mark the Fourth, Ella, Duke, Abigail, Luke, Russell, Emily, Clark, Clayton, and Spencer. That's what Dan said you're most proud of. So thank you, Mark, for all you do. And on behalf of the California State Senate, let me present you with this resolution. You know where the flag is, Mark? Oh, the flag. There we go.
Well, this is a little too much. I'll tell you right now, God. Oh, wow. Well, let me tell you what I've been doing here the last, I guess, month or so. I had a trial verdict in LA against Johnson & Johnson and talc, whatnot, and it was a big verdict. And what they've done is they're actually going bankrupt. I don't know if you read about it in the LA Times or some of the other newspapers. They're trying to go bankrupt so they don't have to pay people like Mrs. Echeverria or people that are injured due to Johnson & Johnson's talc. And so I've been the last 2 weeks, actually 3 weeks, in North Carolina with a bankruptcy judge trying to save all these people, these women who have been injured and killed, and the families of the people that died due to the talc. And it's just unbelievable. They got a bankruptcy judge there to say, well, we'll let Johnson & Johnson's subsidiary off the hook, let them go into bankruptcy, and then we don't know on J&J, et cetera. The bottom line is, I'm leaving tomorrow morning. Kevin's going to come with me, Cal Cagney, and we're going to go back to New York to meet on this whole bankruptcy thing. So anyway, that's what I've been involved with here, and I'm just shocked here with all the nice things that were said tonight. So and I will say this, that we have a team of people. Will the Robinson Calcagny people, will you all stand up, please? You're all here. Stand up, please. Robbie. All of you. And spouses. Melody. And spouses, please. Stand up, please. Melody, stand up, please. She won't even stand up. Now, Melody is a tremendous human being, and just caring as you can get. And I do work a lot, right? Okay. Some people say 7 days a week. I don't know. Maybe on sometimes half of Sundays I take off or something. But I've just done this. This is what I do, and it keeps me going. I think if I didn't work like this, I probably wouldn't be here. I'm not kidding. So I'm keeping it going. But I love this group. I swear I started here with Orange County Trial Lawyers. I told my old man, he was a defense attorney. He tried like 300 defense verdicts or jury trials. And he wanted me to be a defense lawyer. And I was up there doing some defense trials with him. I was a DA in LA. I tried, like somebody said, 40 cases. And I just said, God, I got to go do my own thing. Because, what happened was there was a case where I was defending one of John LaFollette's case. He was a big-time defense lawyer. And I got a defense verdict, but I asked the judge, because it was clear to me that the defendant is the one who should have got the verdict, not the plaintiff. The plaintiff was the guy suing him. And I told the judge, my client was one injured. And she said, well, you can't do that. Mr. Robinson, you got to go file another case. I said, Judge, we've been here. The jury's heard the whole thing. Can't I just put on like a cross complaint here? And he says, and the other guy on the other side is just flipping out. And he said, okay, I'll let you do that. So I got a defense verdict for our defense firm's client. And then the jury gave 20 grand to the defendant. So I went back to John LaFollette, who I loved him, a great guy, just a great human being, and my dad was there. I said, Dad, and John, I think I'm going to go do something else. I won't do it in your territory, Dad, here, but we won't do it in LA, but I'm going to go down and find another place. And I looked around, San Bernardino, San Diego, came down to Orange County, and with a guy named Greg Munoz and Art Hughes. And it was fantastic. Just a 3-person firm, and I got to try, small cases. All of a sudden, I was trying a lot of whiplash cases and everything. It was so great. And I got to say something. One thing I feel about Orange, people have asked me, Mark, I've had different law firms want me to come to LA. And I do try a lot of cases in LA. A lot of these product cases are in LA. But I will say this, that I love the bench and bar of Orange County. There's nothing like that in the whole country. I'm not kidding. I've been all over this country. Like I'm going to New York tomorrow, and I was in North Carolina last week and the week before, but I go everywhere. There is no bench and bar anywhere. I've been almost all over the country here. Because remember, I was national voter president, so I was going to maybe 40 different states, seeing the lawyers and seeing what's going on. A BOTA is both defense lawyers and plaintiff lawyers. And there's, lots of lawyers, lots of experienced, great trial lawyers. And so as I went around, I've always said to myself, wow, there's nothing like the bench and bar in Orange County. So you should, actually be happy that you're here, and that's why I stayed here. Remember, it's a great place to be, to live, and everything. But it's people like you. You're such wonderful people, and you really are. You just even the defense lawyers here are friendly with the plaintiff lawyers, and the plaintiff lawyers are friendly with the defense lawyer. It's special. It's sort of the way ABOTA is, I think. ABOTA is, it's half defense and half plaintiffs, and it's fantastic. Going to where we are here, Orange County trial lawyers, that's where it started with for me. Orange County, I came to Orange County in 1974, and I found, you know, we didn't have to have 20 jury trials to be in Orange County trial lawyer. You be there. And I got to tell you, from the beginning, I just loved this group. I really did. And as somebody said, I was president, and I did get some awards here. But I will say this, we're a great group here. You really are. It's just rare what we have here. And I'm so proud of being here with you tonight and everything that's gone on and all this. I mean, I was a little bit shocked with all of what they did here. But anyway, I'm supposed to only speak for 3 minutes, so so I think I'll say thank you. Thank you. I love Orange County. I love all of you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I would like to ask that all of the awardees, if you could come up to the side of the stage over here so that we could get a group photograph from Rick for you. I want to say thank you to Kelly at Verdict Videos for providing these great Top Gun videos tonight. We truly appreciate her for her continuous support throughout the year. I want to say thank you to Rick Kramer and Executive Presentations for Photography for photographing our event and creating great memories for the winners. Thank you, Riziel Lipinski, for hosting the after party at the Overview Lounge located in the lobby area. You will need to have your name badge to get into the after party. So if you've taken your name badge off, please grab your name badge because you will need that. Thank you for coming tonight and sharing and celebrating these well-deserved award recipients. And thank you all for your support and your donations. And have a great evening.